So it was day after Christmas, and we were eating some steaks and decided we'd watch a movie. The ambulance got a call, so we paused the movie, and my driver, Todd Blaylock, came and got me. Said, you need to come out here and see this, and walked outside on the approach of the fire station, and we could see the tornado. We could just get glimpses of it when it would hit a transformer and the lightning. It's hard to tell, but it looked like it was coming right at the station. So I grabbed a radio and called it in.
Be advised, we got a large tornado on the ground here just south of the fire station.
The bay that we were in, it was glass on 3 of the 4 sides, so we could see out pretty good as we were sitting in the ladder truck, and we just kind of watched it, and it was moving in a straight line, so once it got past us, we knew we were safe. We went ahead and pulled out and just started following it because we could see roofs and debris. I remember looking up and seeing a whole roof of a house twisting in the tornado, and I thought, there's people hurt, we're gonna have to go to work.
420 from Truck 5, we've got damage everywhere over here off of Bobtown near Kelso. There's houses torn up everywhere. We're probably gonna need some more units.
So what do I remember about it? I didn't go to the scene itself, but I knew that the tornado had struck Sunnyvale, which is on the southern point of Garland, and then traveled in a northeast fashion towards 30 and George Bush. It struck approximately a 2-mile area from Sunnyvale all the way to Rowlett, causing complete devastation. The majority of the damaged structures were houses, single-family houses, but there was also apartments and businesses, but there were so many cars that were on the highway that were thrown about. We had numerous injuries, and there was already reports of people who had been killed.
Those first hours, particularly at night, there's a lot of just trying to figure out, how bad it is. Meanwhile, the first responders are out there, they're doing their jobs heroically.
In those initial moments of when the tornado hit, it is information overload. Your phone's ringing, your radio's going wild.
Everything was happening so fast. And once again, information was coming in. We had power outages. We have 911 calls coming in nonstop.
Garland 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Our house fell on top of us.
The tornado hit us.
It hit the apartment?
It looks like my whole living room's gone.
RV parked out here. There's fires going. There's a lot of overturned vehicles.
Only because there's a lot of people hurt from the tornado over here on 30.
Right at about 6:40, my daughter was sitting on the couch and she just looked up and she goes, "Tornado." And we all kind of looked at her like, "What?" She says, "Tornado." And all of a sudden, you heard it.
My sister grabbed my wife and, drug her to the bathroom and got her in there. I ran into the kitchen to grab my golden retriever at the time. He was in the kitchen laying in there. Grabbed him, and as I looked up, the roof of the house got ripped off. And I got back into the bathroom, and my sister said, "Where's Dad?"
I'm sitting in a recliner, and I was leaned back, and the pressure in the room had changed so quick that I couldn't get out of the recliner. Tornado hit, lasted less than 10 seconds.
The only corner of the house that's still standing, that didn't have any damage, that wasn't, a 2x4 sent through it, or he was in his recliner, leaned back, and he'd thrown the fleece blanket over the top of his head, and he was just in his recliner hiding under a blanket. And he was fine. Somehow, some way, he was fine.
The National Weather Service response team came out and surveyed the damage, and they identified the tornado as being an EF4 with wind speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. We had over 400 families have homes that were completely destroyed, and there were over 1,200 structures that were also damaged. We also tragically lost 9 lives in Garland. Most of those were on the overpass of the Bush and 30 overpass. They were all in their car. That is also a significant, heavy loss.
At the 1-year anniversary, the city planted some trees down there at John Paul Jones Park to commemorate that loss.
It devastated the community. Obviously, this is something that we had never experienced to this magnitude ever, to my knowledge. We saw the hurt. We saw, people suffering. They lost everything. They lost their houses, their cars. Some of them lost family members. It was, from what I saw, the most difficult thing that anyone could ever go through. But what I did see in return was how the city united with our community and the resilience of our community. Everyone came together and ultimately worked to restore what Garland really is.
The second part, after the initial response and the search and rescue, was taking care of all of those people and families whose lives had been touched. And so we established a tornado resource center at the Granger Recreation Center. I still get emotional when I go there because you saw miracles happen there. And the community just responded at an unbelievable level. And clothes and food and water, all those things, everything in the world got donated. It was a great visual of just how much this community cared.
Garland is a very resourceful city. The citizens are very dedicated and resourceful themselves. And Garland is not as resource rich as some of the other surrounding jurisdictions, but we always seem to have plenty of people that are willing to support one another. And that's really what makes a community resilient, because you can replace things, you can rebuild stuff, but at the end of the day, you can't replace people.
So many of the homeowners I found, well, I guess resilient is the word, so resilient. And I remember one young couple who had lost everything. They had children, young children. And they said, Mr. Bradford, it's just stuff. We're all here. We survived. We're alive. We're not injured. That's just stuff.
Just us coming together as a community and as friends and neighbors really is what got us through that situation. We want to take care of each other. We want to see everybody do good. And that was a week where we really had the opportunity to slow down and come together as a community and love on each other and take care of each other.
So there really isn't a day that goes by where I'm not thinking about this event. I drive that route I took to get to work that night. I drive it every day. And I look back to where the trees used to be. I think about the people that we lost that night.
It allowed me to see the realness of what can happen to people out there. I'm a police officer, and so I see things on a regular basis, but not to this scale. And it humanizes you. It really humbles you in who we are as people and how ultimately that we need each other.
I think that day taught me what this community is really made of. It showed, in a way that nothing else could, character of the Garland community. Heavens knows, we're not a wealthy community, we're not a rich community, but that didn't stop people from giving. And I will tell you that after coming through that, I don't want to live anywhere else. This is a wonderful community that still cares about people, and it cares about people when they're in need.